One of the most difficult parts of what I do on social media is answering questions to those who support me, those who follow me on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Some of them are beyond my imagination, but because of the people that I relate to and because of reading outside the box, I get to answer these questions as they come. So one of my followers asked me a very difficult question, and the question went like, how often should couples fight or have an argument in a relationship? It was a very technical question that needed me to consult so many people, including some of my relationship coaches, and reading some books and articles on how positive can fights and arguments be in a relationship. I did one video on TikTok hitting over 200,000 views in 2 days, and the guy who asked me this question is so much satisfied because by doing that short video he got to see response, and over 90% of the people who responded and commented on this video proved to us that fights and arguments are very important and positive vibes in a relationship. So when you have fights, when you have arguments in relationship, there's no cause for an alarm. What you need to know are some of the 7 most important parts that I want to touch in this video. And at the end of this video, I have a bonus on how you can make the fights and arguments to become more positive. So first of all, the most important thing that you need to know when there's an argument or there's a possibility of a fight, and the fight that I'm talking about here is not a fight to hurt someone, but it is a fight that almost every woman on this earth, just to get to be babied or to get attention from their men and people who are around them. Sometimes men also do it for attention or maybe to just get something, and basically men do it especially when they want to go out or they want to have fun with their friends, and they feel like if I don't bring some little commotion, I'll not be allowed to leave this house. So those things happen, and we need to know that we need to understand and come to terms with them, that it is not so dangerous for your relationship, but there are some extent that you need not to get into, because when you get beyond some of this that I want to talk about, you destroy it and it might end like mine ended. And I want to give myself as an example, because before knowing this and understanding what exactly it means to be in a relationship, and especially love relationship, I could not hold my horses, I could not tame my mouth sometimes, and the person I was with in relationship as well, and we ended up parting ways, and you can imagine how hurting it is at that point in time in a relationship when you have done everything that is possible and you're just remaining with saying I do, and then everything goes blunt. That's why I started this, to help people understand more on what you can do not to fail. And it's never about failing, by the way, it's about not to get the bad experience of being in love. So number one and most important thing that you need to do is that when you see a possibility of a fight or a possibility of a heated argument, hold your horses. Come to terms with yourself, hold it in, and don't speak, because sometimes when it's heating up, you might speak words and things that are going to hurt the other side of a relationship. So when you take a pause and you eat your words and you get low and you get yourself together, you find out that sometimes you make those who are angry at you to tone down and to explain themselves. And even in the explanation of themselves, that alone is a fight and it's an argument. And I want to tell you this. An argument is not a fight to hurt. An argument means that you are trying to bring out a point to make somebody understand. Just like in a parliament, people debate and we say that I'm arguing my point, I'm arguing my side. So that is the kind of an argument that I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about a physical fight or a fight or argument that is hurting someone. And that's why I say, before you speak, when you feel that there's an heated debate, hold your horses, hold it and calm down before you say a word that is going to hurt the other side. Number two, you have to focus on the actual issue. Sometimes when we have a fight or we have an argument with the people that we love, we tend to dig to the history. Most of the times I tell my fiancé, hey, don't go back to 1990s, don't go back to 1980s or 1970s. Let's just focus on what is happening right now. Whatever happens at that time, handle it with the utmost faith and trust that it is the only thing that has happened in your relationship. When you dig past, you are adding salt into a bruised flesh. You had dried the cut flesh, and now instead of letting it heal, you are taking salt and pouring into it. So don't dig deep into the past. Just deal with the issue. The current issue is the most important, and when you deal with it, you get to find that your argument or fight is going to be much productive, and you're going to get solution rather than going to dig deep into the past. And number three, you have to talk less and listen more. Sometimes I have a problem with this because, as a motivator and always speaking to the camera like I'm speaking to you here, I talk most of the time. So I've been trying to train myself to listen more to the other side. But when you feel that somebody is not coming out and speaking up, then that's the time you don't need to keep quiet or to listen. You have to speak. And when you are speaking, speak understanding and trying to be in the shoes of the other side. When most of the times you are in your shoes, you might not feel or get in contact or in touch with the other side of a relationship, and you tend to force things, to push things on the other side than trying to bring them together to find a common solution for both of you. Number four, the tonation, the tone in which you speak. And most of the time, my fiancé will tell you that before we start or even finish argument, I'll always break and tell her, hey, hello, can you just tone it down and give me that voice that I understand and I always know? Just talk to me like we always talk generally. That tones her down. And at the same time, when I feel like it's going to anger me, I've been hurt and this thing is getting into my nerves, I try to breathe in and breathe out and then come out with that tone that is going to make somebody feel that it is not a punch, but it is like an advice. It is like you're trying to give a point, get a point home, to drive it home. So clear your voice, don't roar like a lion, just take your point home. Remember, you are talking to an adult, not a child. You're talking maybe to somebody who is a firstborn in a family and is taking a responsibility of very many people. So when you are shouting at them, you are making it more complicated than when you are talking in a voice that gives light to whatever point you want to drive home, than giving a light or than giving information that you want to top or you want to be high or you want to be heard. It's not about being heard, it's about being understood. Get it right. The most important part of the fight or argument, never ever threaten your partner that you can leave if this happens. Never ever threaten your partner that you yourself want to leave. Instead of saying that, help them to understand that if whatever you are doing is not bringing them peace, is not making them have peace, then the best thing to do is to leave and get the peace outside there. This makes them to think and to feel that really am I getting peace here or not getting peace here? So it is a situation whereby you give them room to make a decision. But when you make a decision by yourself and tell them that, you know what, if this is not going to happen, I will leave. This breaks the trust. It kills the attitude, it kills the emotion, it kills the love, it kills the strength of your relationship, and it starts to break things into pieces. Most of us do it oftentimes. Sometimes I do it. But I think that when we get to understand that the most important part of argument and fight is never to threaten somebody with an exit, it makes us strong to fight and embrace each other and finish these things with a great and concrete solution. Number 6, and also very important, don't keep the anger to yourself. When you realize that your partner is not doing something right, when you feel like something is not happening right and you want it to be corrected, don't keep it to yourself or tell it to your friends or your family or your relatives. Face your partner right on and tell them what you feel, how you feel, and why they're making you to feel that way. This solves the issue and makes things to be sorted out better than when you keep it inside yourself, or better than when you keep it to yourself, because it's going to burn you from inside. And you see, the most dangerous part of life is when something is affecting you from inside. You know, it is better your partner to affect you, to make your moods bad, than yourself feeling bad from inside because your attitude or somebody has interfered with your mental and you're being tortured from inside. This kills your attitude, it kills your emotions, it kills your strength, it withdraws you away from the person, and you start feeling not loved, not cared for, and not in the right place. And this is going really to affect your relationship, and you might end up parting ways before making a solution to make your relationship go to higher heights. Last but not least, because there are so many things, you can read articles and you can find it from other people, never go physical with your partner. When you feel that things are not holding waters and you feel like you're roaring like a lion and you want to lift high your hands, better open the door and get yourself out of the scene and go get yourself cooled down and come back to get a solution. Never go physical on your partner. Never go physical or torture your partners mentally or emotionally, because these things never get deleted from their lives. You know, when you slap somebody, you might break their jaws. And imagine when you break a jaw, this thing is going to live with your partners forever. Even when they will forgive you, they will always remember that this sign, this deformation was caused by John, it was caused by Anne, it was caused by Mary. And this makes them sometimes feel not loved. Sometimes also when you torture them emotionally, you torture them mentally, you are only causing harm to yourself and the people around you if you have kids or maybe you have family living together with you. So don't go physical, don't go emotional to torture the people you are in relationship. So now, bonus to what we have been talking about to wrap up this conversation. If you want to make fight and argument look something positive in your relationship, always sum up that kind of an argument with a hug, with a kiss, and take the woman into your kingdom when you're a man. If he was roaring at you and you're a woman, let me tell you something. Men are stopped by a deep kiss. When you feel that this guy is roaring and is almost hitting you, don't run away. Move closer. Hold that man tight and look at them straight into the eyes. If you can, give them a kiss. If you can, show them your palace, and you're done. That's the bonus for today. My name is Johngora, aka The Motivator. Until we meet again, and if this is the first time that you're joining my channel, please subscribe and don't forget, put the notification bell on, because when these videos are published, you will be the first people to watch it. Keep smiling real, and let's meet in the next one.